Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? This is your homie HerbMan, and you're tuned in to a new episode of, you guessed it, Herb of the Day. Go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on, man. We appreciate all of our supporters, and if you are new to the channel, please hit that logo right here on your screen and hit that notification bell so that you never, ever miss a daily episode of Herb of the Day. All right, so today we have some really cool herbs today. I call them the Burnett brothers. All right, so we're going to talk about two herbs today instead of one, and we're going to try to make this as quick as possible. So if you're dealing with indigestion, if you're dealing with hematuria, then these are going to be the herbs for you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the herb of the day. All right, let me share my screen here. Guys, let me know when you get the screen, so that I can make sure that everybody is present in the building. All right, so you're rocking with the best. I am your host, HerbMan. This is the Herb of the Day show. And now let's get into what is our herbs of the day, since we're dealing with two of them. All right, so our herbs of the day are what I consider to be the Burnett brothers. And you have Burnett Saxifrage, which is going to be the white plant first, all right? And it originates from Europe, and it is a perennial plant. It likes more of the temperate climate, and it grows to about the height of about 1 meter, okay? And then to the right of it, you have the big brother, which we call Greater Burnett, okay? So you have Burnett Saxifrage, which is the white, and then they also call it some other names, and we'll get into that. And then you have the big brother, Greater Burnett. And Greater Burnett is originally from Europe as well, and this is also a perennial plant, but it likes more of the cold climate, and it grows to about 80 centimeters, so just a little bit shorter than the saxifrage here. Now we're going to start talking about the big brother first. You know, he came out first, so he deserves to get talked about first. Now the common name, or some other common names for Greater Burnett, is going to be garden Burnett and salad Burnett. And the scientific name for Greater Burnett is Sanguisorba officinalis. Sanguisorba officinalis. And normally we're going to be talking about just the herb part here, okay? So when we're dealing with this, that's going to be the medicinal part of this particular plant. Now, some of the actions that Greater Burnett has is it has an astringent tonic action. And pretty much we know an astringent to be something that will help constrict or contract vessels and skin and all those types of things. So that's going to be good. And the tonic of that is good for nourishing and tonifying. Okay, so it has a double whammy effect when you're talking about astringent tonic. And it also is a anti-hemorrhagic, so it stops bleeding. So this is going to be good for all kind of issues, but we'll get further into why that's going to be good for this herb. And it also has the actions to be a mild antibacterial, which is always a cool action to have. Now, the historical uses of Greater Burnett is that it's been used for IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, okay? And it's also been used for ulcerative colitis, as well as excessive or heavy bleeding or excessive menstruation, okay? And it's been used to gargle for throat infections. All right. Now, traditionally, the tea was used as a wash for piles, or what we call hemorrhoids, and anal irritation. Or you can use this as a poultice for sores and wounds. Again, it is good for external bleeding. All right. Now, this has been widely used in Chinese medicine. So if you're a lover of the Chinese medicine, if you're a fan of that, then this is going to be a great herb for you to research. And it says that when we want to use this herb, as always, we want to prepare it to try to take it 3 times a day if we're dealing with any acute or chronic situations. And the recommended way to prepare it is the all-time favorite, the tea format. You can utilize about 2 teaspoons of Greater Burnett to each cup of boiling water. You allow it to infuse for about 5 minutes, and you could drink a half a cup 3 times a day. Another way that we can do Greater Burnett is to do it in a liquid extract form. You can do about half a teaspoon in some water, and you can do that 3 times a day. The other way is a tincture, which is going to be the most potent way, all right, but not the most recommended here on Leaf of Violet Essentials. We recommend the tea format. You do a 1-to-5 ratio for a tincture. You're going to do it in about 45% alcohol, preferably that's going to be vodka, and then you're going to dose this at about 2 to 8 milliliters a day, 3 times a day, depending on your situation, okay? So that's kind of some of the things of Burnett, Greta Burnett. Now, again, this is very good for external bleeding. It's very good for blood in the urine. So if you guys are dealing with anything like that, this is going to be a very, very good herb for you. It doesn't have a whole lot of other things that it's good for other than stopping bleeding, you know, clearing out the blood out of the kidneys and the urinary tract system, you know, and that's what we call hematuria. So if you guys are dealing with those types of situations, then hey, take a look at Greta Burnett. All right. Just remember that I'm not a doctor nor a physician, so please beware and consult your physician if this is something that you definitely want to utilize, especially if you're on medication or if you are pregnant. Now, we advise people who are pregnant not to go the herbal route at all. You just want to, you know, try to be as natural as you can dealing with your birth. Okay. Now, the next Burnett is called Burnett Saxifrage. All right, and this is also has a common name called lesser Burnett. So this is the lesser of the two brothers. I call it little brother. All right, and the scientific name for saxifrage is going to be Pimpinella saxifraga. Pimpinella saxifraga. Okay, and the parts of this particular herb is going to be the dried root and the herb form. All right, that's where your medicinal properties are going to be at. And this particular herb has some constituents in it as like coumarins and volatile oils and saponins, and all of those are going to be good for various different types of things. You can do your own research on that. Now, the actions that saxifrage has is that it acts as a carminative, and we know that that's going to help with gas and expelling gas out of the digestive system. All right, and it also has aromatic actions. Now, aromatic actions are going to be herbs that have very distinctive odors. Okay, they're going to be pleasant or distinctive, but the bottom line is you're going to smell them. Okay, you're going to smell them a mile away, and the reason for that is because most of them have aromatics. Most aromatics have volatile oils, so that's what you're smelling is the volatile oil. So when you see the constituents there, it'll let you know some of the actions. When you see the actions, it'll let you know some of the uses. So that's how you can kind of chronicleize how we do this. And it also acts as a stimulant. Okay, saxifrage can be a stimulant, and that just pretty much means that it's going to increase your stamina, and that's going to always serve well for your central nervous system as well as your brain. Okay, and last but not least, saxifrage has an expectorant action, and that's going to always be something good for the respiratory system. It pretty much is going to be excess mucus that builds up in your respiratory system. So if you're dealing with that mucus, bronchitis, and all those types of things that happen with the lungs, asthma, all of that, you might want to take a look at Burnett Saxifrage. All right. Now, what are some of the historical uses that we see for saxifrage? Again, because of the actions, it's been used for flagellants. So if you're a person that just gassing up all the time and just, you know, you're gassing uncontrollably, you may want to look at Burnett Saxifrage. All right. And if you have indigestion, or if you have upset stomach all the time and it's just feel like you just can't get right within your stomach, you may want to take a look at this particular herb as well. Now, the recommended way to prepare this one is, again, my all-time favorite and what we recommend here at Leaf of Violet Essentials, the tea format. We're going to do 1 heaping teaspoon to each cup of boiling water, and we'll allow saxifrage to infuse between 5 and 15 minutes, and we do about a cup 2 or 3 times a day if we're dealing with these issues. Again, I'm not a doctor nor a physician, so please consult your physician when dealing with this particular herb. And as well, Burnett Saxifrage is very specific to the indigestion system, okay? To the digestive system. Is very specific to expelling gas and being for flagellants. So you don't have a whole lot of other things about these particular herbs, which is why I grouped them together, because I knew it was going to be a short video. Now, how can you tell these apart? So we got to go back to the signatures, and the signatures are going to be in the leaves here. Okay, now I know you see the colors, but you want to be able to tell here, because sometimes you're going to find some more colors like this, and you're going to find some more whites, definitely, when you're talking about the plant kingdom. Okay, so here at the top we have saxifrage. Okay, now saxifrage, you see, has the ridges on the leaves here, but it almost looks like it like it's breaking down into like a 3 leaves kind of. You know how it has that little 3-leaf pattern here? See how that cut right there? And then when you go down here to the big brother, which is greater Burnett, it doesn't really have the 3-leaf effect here. It's just one whole leaf with the ridges. Okay, and another difference is you can see from the leaves is that saxifrage leaves are going to be a little bit short. All right, they're going to be like a little stocky, a little shorter plant, shorter leaf, where you got greater Burnett down here is longer leaf, and it also doesn't have the 3-leaf pattern. So that's how you can tell the difference from ground up, and then this is how you can tell the difference from you know, from the bud down. Okay, so remember that this is what you really want to understand and know, so that you don't eat, use, or pick the wrong things for the wrong reasons. Okay, so you want to make sure you understand and know all of those particular things. Again, this is these 2 herbs are going to be good for hematuria. If you guys don't know what hematuria is, it's a disease of the kidneys and the urinary tract. If it's left unattended to, and pretty much is blood in the urine, and if it's left unattended to, it can definitely cause a whole lot more damage to your urinary tract system. Okay, so if you're, you know, got that type of situation going on, you know, if you're dealing with hematuria, look at greater Burnett. And if you're dealing with flatulence a lot, and you've got upset stomach all the time, and you're just pooting everywhere you go, you sound like a symphony or a flute, then you may want to look at Burnett Saxifrage to put a handle on that gassy stomach and that acute case of indigestion. Okay, so that's pretty much it for these particular herbs, man. Want to thank you guys for all of your support. Again, if you're new to the channel, stay connected and join the family. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @LoveHerbMan. Love stands for Leaf of Vital Essentials. And we also carry products. And you can go to www.leafofvitalessentials.com and see what we have there. Our products are forever changing. We're going to be changing out a whole lot of products that we got on there, because we'll continue to learn. I view plants and doing all this research just like technology. It continues to change as the weather changes, as the body changes, as humans change, as the environment changes. Then you have to look at where we are at this particular place, and then try to find the herbs that will rectify our situations in today and not of old. Okay, so I give you these herbs so you guys can see a historical understanding of them. I give them to you so that you can also visually put an eye on what herbs look like. I also too want you to understand what are some of the diseases that these herbs have been known to be good for, but also too is to encourage and to empower you to do your own research when you're consuming anything, for that matter, you know, and putting it inside of your body. Want to make sure that you're doing your research on that, because no matter if you go vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever diet you got to understand one thing, that water has chemicals in it, food and vegetables, you know, fruits and all of that. If you're buying them from stores, then they have pesticides on them. Okay, and the fish are going to be, you know, if you're not getting wild caught fish, then they're going to have particular things in them, chemicals in them as well. If you're not farm raising your own meats, then you better bet your bottom line that they're going to have antibiotics and estrogen in those. So there's really no way to be all the way healthy unless you grow your own food, filter your own water, build your own home, and tend to your own cattle or fishes. Okay, if you can go fishing at a lake, get you some freshwater fish, wild caught salmon and things of that nature will be way better for your system. But I just wanted you guys to get that caveat that you need to do your research, because just picking diets without understanding what more work you have to do for your own health is almost asinine. Okay, so this has been your homie, man. This has been the episode of Herb of the Day. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time, tell somebody to go tell somebody. Peace. Yes, sir.